Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, if you want to do, just drop a like and subscribe. I know at the moment you can't see my webcam, and that's because I need to get a new one. But at the moment that should just be. At the moment I'm looking at a black screen, so that's not very convenient. But this will be edited anyway. So I want to be a little bit more down to earth with this video, and what I mean by that is just kind of being realistic and offering some advice, really. If you must unknowingly advise. So it's the bit of the backstory behind this is not just because I'm just offering advice. It's because I have a couple of friends, who are all who've seen my streams, and they've kind of gone, okay, I want to kind of do that too. So I've had like 3 or 4 friends that have said that. So I've said, okay, here's some advice. But then they're like, oh yeah, but like, what equipment do I get and that? And it's kind of led to me doing this video, which I will just explicitly send to them, hoping that it's some good advice. So the first bit of advice I would say is for starting streaming, recording, whatever. I'm mostly going off streaming, but I will try and merge in some advice about starting as recording as well. Bear in mind, it's a very hard industry to get into nowadays because everyone has preferred to do this stuff now, and the competition is crazy. And it's all moved to like TikTok now, Shorts, Instagram Reels, where streams, you're in on the action. Videos can still be good, but you've got to make them good. So here we go. My first bit of entertainment, I don't even know what I'm talking about. My first bit of advice is always stream at a comfortable time for you. Don't always say to yourself, I'm going to have to stream at midnight just because that's the best time when everyone's asleep and I'm going to get no disruptions. You don't necessarily have to do that. I'm streaming at 7 p.m. I used to hate the idea of streaming at 7 p.m. or even recording a video at 7 p.m. Just put a little poster up on your door just saying I'm streaming, shut up, stay out of my way. That's all you have to do. Just put a note on your door and just stream at a comfortable time for you. If you find yourself streaming at midnight, but then having to get up 6 hours later, that's not really benefiting you in a way. So always stream at a comfortable time and record at a comfortable time for you. If you're recording, make sure there's time to edit it, because if you're recording it at midnight, you're obviously gonna go to bed, and you may even forget about it the next day, and then that's just a waste of time for a video, really. And I must say that's happened to me on multiple occasions. So always stream at a time that is comfortable for you, just so you're that way you can be happy, rather than streaming at midnight, no chat at all. It's just basically you talking to yourself for a good 2 hours, and then that's it. Whereas if you're streaming at 7 p.m, you could get a couple of chats. You might bring in some of an audience. So it works both ways, really. You might get a new viewer, you might get a new subscriber, whatever. But it's also at a time where you're most happier. Number 2 is I would avoid streaming at the same time as your main competition. And when I say main competition, if you're streaming at the same time as Ninja for Fortnite example, or Danny Aaron's for FIFA, it's gonna be really hard to bring in them viewers, because you know for a fact that Danny Aaron's and Ninja already have pre-established fans, pre-sold fans, who are going to be watching them. They're not going to be watching any other competition. Whereas if you're streaming 4 p.m, when both of them two aren't even streaming, you have a chance of bringing in some audience. It may work, it may not. With all these World Cup watch-alongs, of course, I'm always going live at the same time as Mark Goldbridge, and probably many, many other people. But Mark Goldbridge I know is my main one. I can't really avoid that. But what I do differently is I have Fortnite or just any other game going on in the back, so that there's some sort of entertainment there. Because I know some people might like to join into my garbage live streams to hear what you say, you know, have a laugh, whatever. But then at the same time, what I'm doing is I'm playing games. I would be more than happy to allow people to come on. You know, I'm always communicating with the chat, all that stuff. I'm not afraid to admit a mistake. You know, I have a good laugh every now and then as well. So if you're streaming at the same time as competitors, you're not going to get as many views. But I've still got a good number, to be fair, a number that I'm happy with, not numbers that I expected, to be honest with you. Number 3 is know what your audience likes, or just know what your audience want. If you've been doing streaming for about a month and it's been mostly Call of Duty or whatever, and then you decide to go, and you know, you've got a couple of fans, you know, you've got 3 or 4 regulars, but then you start drifting towards Fortnite, and then you know, they might come in for like 5 minutes, chat, then leave, rather than them staying pretty much the whole way and then just leaving anyway. You would then know that's kind of a reference to telling you that that's not what your audience want. However, your audience want to see Call of Duty, and it's so hard if you're a casual gamer and if you just like playing games sporadically, just like me. Like, there was a stream the other day, I can't remember what game it was, but we went from FIFA, we went to Fortnite, Fall Guys, I even think, even Uno as well. So we were very sporadic there. You know, one, it was good enough for me, but if I had fans who were more interested in watching me play Fortnite but watching me play Uno, they're more likely to just drift away from the stream as it is. So always know what your audience like, and even maybe at the end of a stream or something, just ask what your audience wants to see in the next stream. Or if you're doing it as video, you know, ask them to put something down in the comments. That boosts your interactivity and your engagement, which again can also really bring in your fans a bit more. My 4th bit of advice would be never to have a schedule, and some I think would be 50-50 on this and say no, you probably should have a schedule. I don't really like the idea of a schedule. I've always had a schedule. I've never followed it, so I'm now just doing this sporadically. Like, this will be a video that gets uploaded probably on the 30th of June, because I've got a stream to do in about 50 minutes or so. But who knows? I could. But basically, if you have a schedule and you seem to be following after the first week, great. But then if the views are demotivating you and then you miss a stream, that kind of gets you in the mindset of, oh, I can miss this stream, I can miss that one, you know, it doesn't matter. Basically, your audience aren't going to care, realistically. If you're someone with 20 subscribers and you have 2 regular viewers, them 2 people I don't think are really going to bother if you're not streaming every single day at 8 p.m. However, if you were saying, look, there's going to be a stream once a week and a video once a week, that's it, and you can follow that, that's good. But don't have a schedule which is video every day, stream every day, because one, it's going to tire you out. 2, it's not going to be fun. Trust me, I tried it and it's not fun at all. You have no time on your hands. It's just less fun. Whereas if you're doing it as and when you want, a million times better. Number 5, I would say to get budget equipment to begin with. Again, some would say no, you should probably go for the best equipment, but I'm against that idea, because if you're getting Elgato capture cards, the best, you know, the best ones that they have, the best graphics card there is, the best microphone, the best, you know, whatever, but then it's not a success. You know, after a month, barely any viewers. After 6 months, it's very minimal, it's very stale. But then after a year, it's only just seen a bit of an improvement. It's gonna, I mean, after 6 months, it's gonna demotivate you, and then essentially it's just gonna be a waste of money. Whereas if you go with basic equipment, like I have off Amazon, and I think after this World Cup, maybe even Christmas, seeing where we're at then, I will start looking at upgrading. Maybe even August. I don't know. It really depends on what the next 2 months have in store for me. So I would, I would definitely be looking at upgrading my equipment. but I got most of mine off Amazon. A mic, the old one I had, was just off Amazon. I can't remember what it was, like fine microphone. I don't know. And then the microphone I'm currently using, which is way better, was just one that my brother used to have. Same with the keyboard, but the keyboard doesn't really matter, and the mouse and the monitor. It doesn't really matter as long as it all functions in it. That's all that matters. Like the computer that I use, I definitely will get a new one that is built for streaming properly and recording videos properly and capable of playing games as well. So that would be that, that's a more of a long term one for me. Maybe one with a graphics card installed would probably be my aim, but they're expensive. So, but as I said, that's something long term for me. I mean, I could even look at again a laptop. I mean, I do have one. Again, I haven't really tried it in terms of recording or streaming, so I could. But graphics card, I just got a basic. I think it was like 20 quid off Amazon. It does the job. It might not be the best quality of all time, but I don't expect it to be. It does the job for me. The microphone does the job for me. The PC does the job for me. The Ethernet as well, which I have, is an absolute godsend. But despite it currently being off, but that doesn't matter. I actually don't know why that is off. Right, I think it's back end. It just says the internet is off. But okay, that's what I'll sort that out later. But I've just got basic equipment. But I'm seeing the stream views go up. I'm seeing subscribers go up, and if that can just continue and continue and continue, I definitely can see myself upgrading to much better equipment for me. My sixth piece of advice would be just do your best and have fun. Don't overdo it. Don't try too hard to impress your audience. Just be yourself. Don't try and act like a bigger YouTuber, because realistically you're not. Just be who you are, because people are only going to like you for who you are. People aren't going to like watching someone who pretends to be someone else, for example. And I think YouTube is the best way to really unlock who you are. But it's happened for me, more so anyway. Like, ever since I've started doing these regular streams, I feel like I can express myself way more. I just get to have a lot more fun than I usually used to in the evenings, where I'd just be laying down in bed, just doing nothing, just probably doom scrolling on my phone at 8 p.m. But now I'm actually at the computer screen, I'm playing games and I'm having fun. I'm working on the channel bit day by day, looking at things to upgrade, all that kind of stuff. So the improvements are going up by the day, really. And I just love how much I can express myself. I love how much I can really come out of my shell when I'm doing that. And my final bit of advice would just be to be as entertaining as possible. If you have a webcam as well, which I don't, I do, but I don't use it because it's not that great. But if you had a webcam and you were just slouched in your chair, not really bothered, people aren't going to watch that. Like, people don't want to see that, and you're just mumbling under your voice. You're rarely speaking. You're raging a lot. No one's going to watch that. You know what I mean? Like, but if you have a webcam up, and you're sat, good posture and everything, and I think good posture plays a big part of health. You got to look after yourself when you're doing this as well. You're sat up perfectly. You're communicating with the chat. You're speaking properly. Whatever, you're engaging with the audience. You're talking about your gameplay. Accepting your mistakes, praising yourself, not raging, not slamming the desk and that. You're going to look like a much better professional streamer, and it's the one thing that I always try to stick to. So, yeah, there you have it. There's my advice. I will try and see if I can shorten this down so I can get all bits of advice into one and to break it down into 7 different videos. But that's my 7 bits of advice. If you have any other advice that I haven't mentioned, do let me know down in the comments and I'll pin it or heart it, whether. But yeah, that's all from me. I hope this video has helped for those that do need it. And if it does, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. That's all from me. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.